We are joined by Representative Robert Andrews of the great state of New Jersey. Representative, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm all right. It's like Groundhog Day, right? You can just read the same chyrons on TV, the same talking points from the Republican side. And the president has been so clear, hasn't he, in what he ran on, what he won on, and what he's saying now.
Yeah, and what's also clear is the outcome of this. The Republicans are going to cave on this tax issue, and the tax rates are going to return on the people $250,000 and up to what they were under Bill Clinton when we had an economic cataclysm, as you might recall.
Yeah.
600,000 new businesses were started, 24 million new jobs are created. God forbid that should happen again. But I think that the Groundhog Day element of this, Stephanie, is this. Last year at this time, the president wanted to extend the payroll tax cut to help the middle class. The Republicans held their feet and stomped their feet and objected and wanted a tax cut for the wealthy. And he stood his ground, and they tried to stand theirs, and the ground just caved in around them. And without even a separate vote, I think they undid this by unanimous consent right before Christmas. That's what's going to happen again this time. We're going to get the rates back to where they were under Clinton.
Well, again, they say the president's not being specific. Here he is yesterday.
Just to be clear, I'm not going to sign any package that somehow prevents the top rate from going up for folks at the top 2%.
I mean, seriously, how many
specifics?
Yes, but he wasn't clear enough. He didn't say of which country.
Yeah.
He's got to be much more precise about this.
I mean, Jay Carney echoed it again. Take a listen.
What will produce a deal is an acknowledgement by Republican leaders, that rates on the top 2%, the wealthiest Americans, have to rise. There is no deal without that acknowledgement and without a concrete, mathematically sound proposal.
Oh my God! I'm reading the chyron right now. The White House has only offered a joke, according to John Boehner. I mean,
you are the joke,
Representative Andrews. Are you hearing anything new except out of
I actually
this meeting
believe
today?
That there's this whole level of the public choreography going on that's not very real. What's going on here is that the Republicans understand that they're going to have to put over $1 trillion of revenue into this agreement, and they're coming to terms with how to get the votes within their conference to do it. And I honestly think that that's what's going to happen about 2 weeks from now. I'm hopeful. By the way, I'm really focused less on the taxes and more on the jobs. That I was delighted to hear the jobs numbers this morning, but it is not good enough yet. And I do think that part of this deal has to be jobs right now. More transportation construction, tax cuts for small businesses if they create jobs, an extension of unemployment benefits for people that are still out there looking very hard for work. These are things that I think have to be a part of this agreement. That's what we ran on. We didn't just run on raising taxes on the wealthy. We ran on creating jobs for everybody, and I want to insist on that as part of this deal.
And it is amazing how they can spin even this as not good enough or bad. I mean, it is the lowest unemployment level in 4 years. We have dropped to 7.7, added twice as many jobs as was expected, right, 146,000 last month. And yet they want to go back to the policies where we were losing 800,000 a month.
There are three facts that Democrats need to repeat every day to every Republican that we see. Fact number one is that the president promised to get unemployment down below 8% if we pass the stimulus bill. Hello, guys, it's down below 8% from almost 11, which he inherited as the economy fell apart in his first year in office. Second, the job-killing health care bill that he signed in March of 2010, the economy has created over 7 million new jobs since the job-killing health care bill was signed.
Yeah.
By the way, over 1 million of those jobs in the health care field.
And by the way, I can hear the air quotes in your voice when you call it the job.
Exactly. Yeah, they are. They're air quotes, that's for sure. And then the third is...
As heard on Fox News. Go ahead.
The third is, that Barack Obama did win the presidential election. He got 51% of the vote, very nearly. By some appropriate coincidence, Mitt Romney got 47% of the vote.
Yes.
The president got 332 electoral votes. He won. And I think all the rest of this is just the Republicans playing out the various stages of grief and loss.
Representative, yeah, exactly. Could you hurry up and get to the bargaining and acceptance, for God's sakes? We're all want to go home for Christmas.
And I think it's coming right before the end of the calendar year.
Yep. Representative Andrews, we've talked a lot about health care, and we were just talking this hour about why does the Medicare eligibility age, why does that have to be on the table? As I was reading analysis of it today, it seems like a bad idea. It's an idea that Paul Ryan, embraced. Obviously, Nancy Pelosi has said she doesn't like the idea. Again, as you just said, we won. The president won. Why do we need to trade that this time?
Yeah, I don't know there's going to be any trade of that. I do think there is a concern about Medicare's long-term fiscal health, and that is for a good reason. People are living longer, which is in part because of Medicare, by the way, because people get better health care when they retire. And, the actuarial tables are a little bit out of whack on this, so it's something I think you can evaluate if it's done in a fair way. But let's get back to the main point here. We already agreed to $1.2 trillion of spending cuts that are now the law in July of 2011. And there was no revenue in that deal. This is about revenue and job creation, and I think to get distracted by the spending side, we're taking the bait if we do that.
Mm-hmm. Representative Andrews, I'm curious. You're saying, first of all, is there going to be a vote on the, what do you call it, 98% of us getting a tax cut? Is there going to be a vote on that in the House, on this discharge petition?
I think what will happen is that in some form, the present tax rates for the 98% of the American people will stay in effect on a long-term basis. Now, what procedural mechanism these guys eventually come up with, I don't know, but that's what the result's going to be.
Yep. All right. Well, it's all good news, and we always appreciate you updating us. Thanks so much, Representative Robert Andrews.
It's great talking to you. Have a great day.
You too. Representative Robert Andrews, great to Jersey,
New Jersey.